what I do. And if I ain't on time, I make a buck or two.
To the legendary Gold Coast Hotel and Casino and National Finals tonight. Brought to you in part by Jim Beam, Lakers Market, Devil's Cup, Tours, 14 Hands Vineyard, Cooper Tire, Ram Rodeo, Justin Booth, National Cowboy Museum, The Range, 702, Golden Tiger Liniment, Ranger, Montana Silverstone, Resist All Happiness, Pepsi, and Boyd Gaming. National Finals tonight with 8-time world champion bull rider Donnie Gay, 8-time world champion cowboy Joe Beaver, and the man and women of the NFL. Sit back, relax, and enjoy National Finals tonight. And now, here's your host, award-winning television personality, Mr. Dan Miller.
Wow, what a good-looking group here, huh? Especially right over there. Boy, there's some handsome guys over there, I'll tell you that. Welcome to National Finals tonight. We're glad to have you here. Are you enjoying Las Vegas? Some of you are, I can tell, huh? Welcome to National Finals tonight. Night number 7 is in the books here, and we are so glad to have you with us here tonight for National Finals tonight. We have great prizes to give away, including that guitar right back there, signed by George Strait, and tuned by Donnie Gay. It doesn't get any better than that, huh? Let's get these guys out here and get this evening started, shall we? Both these guys are 8-time world champions. You all know that, and I'm proud to call both of them my friend. The first one, 8-time world champion bull rider, the best ever, Donnie Gay, is here tonight. Donnie.
Hello. What day is it? It's Wednesday in Las Vegas. Are y'all having fun yet? Let's make a little noise in here. Donna Keffler and Coors wanted me to do that.
Brought out the preacher in
yeah.
you, didn't it, huh? Very good, very good. Donnie, it's good to have you. Let's get Joe out here and get this evening started, shall we? This gentleman also no stranger to any of you. 8-time world champion, great guy. Joe Beaver's in the house. Joe, come on out here, please.
All right.
With gifts.
All right. Okay, right in the wine glass. Right in the wine glass.
In the wine glass.
Hold the wine glass. Hang on to it.
Right in the glass. Ah.
That's better than paying the cleaning bill.
Last night he put it right in the glass.
That's a
didn't
good
you?
shot. She caught it.
It's good to have you guys here. You ready for a good night here this evening?
It is a good night. We're making the downhill plunge towards the gold buckle. So it's nice. You go down there, you see who's nervous, who's scared, who thinks they got a chance to win, who's craving more, you know. That's the fun part. You see who's the weenies and who's the winners.
It's good.
And so I'm supposed to follow that. You know what I like is now you've had all these performances and everybody's taking their best shot. They're really paying attention and all that kind of stuff. And this is the fun part. This is where the quick draw guy, you know, gun them down. You got 3 go rounds. 1, 2, 3, bang, bang, bang. That's 24 seconds if you're riding bulls or broncs. And this is the fun part, because if you are within striking distance, then you can let her roll.
If there's just a minute chance to win a world championship, you can't hardly sleep for the next 3 nights.
Yeah, this is when Joe and I's hands start sweating.
This is when you crave it. And if you don't crave it at this point, if you're bitching about being sore or hurt or not winning, or things aren't going your way, then you should have picked a different sport. Because it's not easy. I've said it before, this isn't a youth soccer league. You come to my clinic or Donnie's clinic, just because you run down the arena and don't fall down, you don't get a trophy. You got to win something. This is rodeo. And if you don't crave the last 3 rounds of the NFR, quit.
I love it.
I've been trying to tell Jerry Jones that, you know, pay those guys on performance.
Exactly right. You
Free
win.
ticket into the game, pay if they win on the way out.
I like it. Joe, we've got some special guests over here that you'd like to acknowledge. Let's talk about that. And Donnie, you too.
National Finals Rodeo. This is our committee, but this is the workforce behind it. Donna and Carrie do all the work.
I guarantee you, these two
They
women
do all the
Ladies
work.
right there.
Donna Hoyt, stand up.
Carrie, we were
INFR.
here a month ago at the South Point with the Indian Finals Rodeo. And if you're ever in the area or want to see another good rodeo, trust me, it is well worth your ticket. And without those two ladies right there, it would not make it.
Nicely done. Nicely. Welcome, ladies. Good to have you here this evening. How many were actually at the rodeo tonight? Very many of you that went? Yes. It's getting great, isn't it, huh? If you didn't get the chance to watch it on television, we're going to do some of that for you right now. Donnie and Joe are doing the telecast live, and so we've put together a highlight reel of round number 7. And gentlemen, if you're ready, let's do it, Donnie Gay. Starting
All right,
off with
how
the
about the
bareback
bareback
riding.
riding?
Let's
Cue
do
it
it.
up. Just when the guys thought it was safe to start talking about somebody else. How about Casey Field? This horse was not going to buck very good until Casey runs his hooks in him, picks him up, and makes an absolute picture-perfect bareback ride. And he's been riding good. He just hasn't drawn just exactly what he... Now watch this horse. See, he's trying to hop and skip and move out. Watch this. See him pick him up right there? Horse starts jumping, kicking. Now they're both in time, and that is so important. But what's really important, look at him stay right square down that horse's back, jump kick. What a great ride.
This is the
83
third
points.
run on the timed event cattle. Matt Reeves, you know what pressure is? You've got this steer. They've already thrown him in 3-1 both
Twice.
times. So you are the punk if you can't throw him in 3-1. Matt Graves, this yellow horse is worth a lot of money, people. He gets better every night. Matt's got him by the snoot with his hand. That's not a deep catch. That means that steer wanted to fall. He didn't waste him. 3-1 wins around. Team roping. It's about time. Finally, Clay Trine shows up. Tonight, he gets a swing off in the box, hooks it on him. J.D. Corkle burns his hand off in the first round, literally to the bone, all 4 fingers. But guess what? This is a national final. Suck it up. J.D. Corkle tapes him up, and right here, it doesn't look like he's going to get a very good throw. Watch the range this kid has. See how far out in front when he heels that steer? Big steer, Clay, good finish. It's not over. Dustin Bird, Montana boy, Indian cowboy, he hooks it on one, and he heads out. That's what I like. Don't protect your healer.
Yeah,
Watch this. Play keep away. Hook it on him and jerk him.
Get 2 wraps.
Paul Eves just says, let me stop this clock. 2-4-1's great round the team roping.
All right, well, the Wright brothers, they're going to keep singing the song. These guys, Jake Wright comes out, special times at Buckenhurst. This is the Eliminator pin in the Bronx. Did you see that horse swoop, duck, dive? That was a barn full. Now, watch this. Watch the Buckenhurst. You'll really get to see it on this replay right one. Now, watch this. Change of direction. You talk about hard on your legs, those swells of that saddle, and does he quit? Does he hold back? This is what I'm talking about quick draw. It's time to start getting the money,
Speaking
and the Wright
of
brothers
the quick
can do
draw,
it. You betcha.
This guy's got every pistol he's got pulled on everybody. Cody Old tonight had a Kev. There was 4 Kevs this good tonight. Tough Cooper had 1. Justin Moss had 1, and Cody Old. Guess who's the only one who wins and catches? Cody Old. Now watch the difference. Look how out front he is over his horse with his loop. Kev was going left. I said you got to turn him around the outside or he won't get up. As soon as he hits the ground, he makes me look good, turns him around. Make sure he gets the Kev stood up as he flanks. No chance to get flagged out. Sometimes people will cheat, kind of pull them up their legs. I don't know anybody like that, but they do it. In the barrel race, what about Carmine, Texas again? Here we go.
Well, she was going to come on the show again.
Yep.
Every time we even think that, here she goes. That horse slips right there on that second barrel.
This horse makes it up from right there. Look how he blows off the third, but
Watch
it doesn't
him
matter.
run. Watch
He
him
never
finish out.
quits till he gets way up the alley.
Oh, and the bull riding. Hell, the reigning champ of the world,
Yeah,
Cody Teal, got that Hannibal Lecter helmet on. I hate that thing. This bull right here, you think, it's just a real good little bull ride. But right there, that bull widens out, and he bucks off 99% of the guys, not Cody Teal. Now, you'll be able to see it on the replay. He's going to make 2 or 3 turns right here, and it's going to be really good. Just what I call, clickety-click. Watch him get wide. This either runs you off of your rope or you get inside the spin. And when you get inside the spin, the bull's going to reverse it. He's going to go away from you. Watch this. He comes wide right there. Now, that doesn't get him. Now he goes back the other way, and the whistle hasn't blown yet. He's got to make this full round and does it in championship style, 85 points in first place.
He has a gold buckle that says, I can ride him like that.
And he does most of the time.
Outstanding job, you two. Very nicely done there. Yep. The best. They're just the best.
But it ain't over till it's over.
No, it's not over till it's over. What I want to do, Donnie, first I want to tell you, if you have questions, because we're already having some questions coming in, during the course of the show, if you have questions, you can text those to us. And let me give you the phone number to do that. It's on the screens right now. It's 702-582-5638 or 702-LUCK-NFT. But send your questions up, and we've had some great ones the past 7 days. So send those up to us if you'd like to do this. Also, if you're watching when you get home, if you want to see any of these shows that you've missed, you can go to YouTube and put in their Boyd Gaming Rodeo or Boyd Gaming Events, and you got to scroll
Be
through
careful
them.
what you ask. You'll get an answer.
That's what I was going to say. Put the question out there. If you're tough enough to ask, we're tough enough to answer.
Yeah, they won't hold anything back on you. I put together just a short little rec thing because Steve Woolsey, Donnie, sometimes you're just snake bit, and the guy has
and
just
he's been here 7 times.
Yes.
This guy's a veteran. It's not just the rookies. It doesn't matter. The National Finals Rodeo is the greatest rodeo ever, and because something happens to 2 or 3 guys in the bull riding every single year. Steve Woolsey, Cole Eckel, and Tyler Willis. Tyler Willis gets off the schneid tonight. Rode 1, I think he won 3rd, and got the whistle. And I'm so glad for him because these guys belong. They didn't get here by accident, but if you enter the bull riding, you are going to get treated badly sometimes.
And if
That's
you
the reason that there's 180 team ropers at a jackpot team roping and 12 bull riders at a jackpot bull riding. That shit ain't easy for everybody now.
So in case you've missed the kind of week that Steve Woolsey has had, Donnie, I put together ride 5 and 7.
You said that rather well.
Yeah, he's all right when you take a look at these. But Donnie, this will sum up the week for Steve Woolsey.
Night number 5, Steve Woolsey gets bucked off, and it looked horrible. Watch this. Here's a guy been here 7 times. He's been in the running for a world title, coming down to watch the back feet. Boom. That's a resistol right there. It's a hell of a tough hat. Best one in the business. Watch this. Hell with a helmet. I'm wearing a resistol too. Now watch this. This is the Jesus part of the deal because that front foot doesn't get on him. Now here he comes again tonight. This is round 7, down in the well. He does a smart thing. He's a veteran. Gets his arm around that bull's neck, keeps his feet until he gets that. You get that shot that breaks your ribs, but what that did, the broke ribs is not the big deal. You could get stepped on and get killed. So he's going to let him knock him away from him, out from under his feet, not let him get a foot on him. Watch this. See him holding his neck right there? He's going to hold, and then that bull's going to blast him away. The bullfighter, check Dusty Tuckness. Yeah, this Cody Webster,
But it's better to be upside down away than underneath, right?
Absolutely.
Any way in the world.
Now look at the bullfighters. They know the wreck's on. There's Cody Webster. He's a rookie. There's Dusty Tuckness. Aaron's coming in. I had him reverse, but Dusty gets blasted away. He's coming down. Look at Cody Webster. He goes to the bull's head. The bullfighters have done a great job. Let me tell you how great a job it is. I'm sitting in the dressing room tonight, and J.W. Harris, you have to watch him because he's going to pull something on somebody every night. This guy, he never stops. The rookie bullfighter, Aaron Ferguson, his first NFR, he gets ready to put his cleats on. He's got 2 pair of shoes. Well, he finds he only has 2 right shoes. And he has a knee brace, and he can't find it. And he has a vest, and he can't find it. That's why you have to watch JW.
None of that needed to fight the bulls. None of that.
This kid, he can't. Well, I look, and JW has got thousands of dollars, $100 bills, and he's counting them. I'm saying, you better look out that NSA is looking at you. You're going to, the IRS is going to be calling you about paying your taxes. He's counting this money. Well, what they did, all 15 bull riders come up with $1,000 cash, $15,000, brought them bullfighters in there and said, we don't think y'all get paid enough by the establishment, so we want to say thank you very much.
Wow.
Hey, and with that
Wow.
said, is there anybody not getting on?
Well, there was one guy. There was one guy that forgot about it, and I said, are they going to take time out when he rides?
Be on the fence. Good luck. Step around him. You
Get
didn't pass.
up! Oh well.
Donnie, we had one question come in. Jason, let's put the one up about the bull riding. And Donnie wants to talk about this first question.
But they
that's
gave
come
him
in.
$15,000. That's the most money I ever won at the national finals, and I won it twice.
Yeah, but that's back when cars were $300 and gas was 22 cents. We done heard that.
Okay, I forgot.
You cleared more money when you won 12,000 than I did win 120.
I forgot.
Here's your question right here, Donnie. What's your take on the EG Bull program? Explain what it is first, and then answer.
Okay,
that, please.
EG is exclusive genetics.
Yes.
That's the bull breeding program. You know, they've been breeding livestock for hundreds of years. If you talk to Sam Dunn over there, you know, you see him at the Kentucky Derby. You know, just because you breed something that has Secretariat bloodlines doesn't mean you're going to win the Derby, but it means that you might have a chance. Same thing with bulls and bucking horses, and Billy Janes is the head of Exclusive Genetics, having a bull riding qualifier for these futurity bulls out at the convention center at Cowboy Christmas every day. And then they have it, now the hotel, they have the $1 million bucking bull futurity, and at first place pays $500,000, and you can go on the website, get Exclusive Genetics, go on there, you can buy part of a bull and be part of maybe winning $500,000.
Very good. Thank you for the question. We appreciate that very much. Gentlemen, I say we get our first guest out here and then just get going with this evening here this
Rock
evening.
and roll.
This young man has, speaking of bull riders, this young man has had a great NFR so far, and it's just getting better for him. So let's bring him out here, Donnie, and we'll talk to him. This is Tyler Smith. Would you welcome him here this evening right there?
Number 2 in the world, Tyler Smith from Colorado. Anybody in here from Colorado tonight? All right. Tyler Smith is one of those guys that I can sit back and I can watch him ride and be really, really envious. Not simply because I'm too old to be able to do it, but you have a terrific style on the bulls. So I'll go ahead and brag on you because he won't do it. But this guy can ride.
He can ride. And Tyler, you came in, as Donnie mentioned, in second. You're surrounded by gold buckles all around you on this. So
Yeah, I mean, Cody Teal's the reigning world champion. J.W. Harris was number 1 in the average, number 1 in the standings. He's
Shane
got
Proctor.
3 buckles, so that's 4. And then Shane Proctor, he's 5. He's right there. He bucked down tonight. You know, nobody gained or lost any ground right there, except Cody Teal moved up 1. This is a great race. Anybody feeling any pressure?
Well, I know I am a little bit, but I imagine that 14 other guys are too. It's just like that every year, and it's a good race.
I sat on television the other night with him. I did an interview because I'd interviewed Cody and Shane Proctor and JW, because they have the gold buckles. But Tyler came into the standings number 2. He's still number 2 after 7 go-rounds at the NFR, and we hadn't talked to him. I told him in the TV show, I said, we got to get this guy on, and we have. And I said, does it scare you to be sandwiched in between 5 gold buckles?
Oh, great comeback. Greatest comeback of all week. Of
And
all
he
the old
said,
guys.
what he said was, it might be that sandwich might be a little difficult to bite into, but he said, I'm not scared.
He said that might be a tough bite in that sandwich, but I'm not scared. Greatest comeback all week. We talked about it for 2 nights on there. All these old veterans like JW and them, he's good up here. Donnie gets at the interview room and asks JW a question, and it's, yeah. Where'd JW go? Where's the little smart ass bops out here and gives me and Donnie a hard time? I want to jump in on the deal when you just interviewed him and say, hey, you scared down there? Now you can't talk? Tyler did the greatest comeback son of all week right there.
Well, thank you. That was the only clever thing I could think of to say.
Well, he did right behind him.
We've got
He
a lot of examples of your riding this week, Tyler. And what I wanted to ask you first, your dad was a bareback rider, so why you bull riding and not bareback riding?
Well, I grew up watching the Mesquite Rodeo on TV, and when the bull riding was going on, that's caught my eye.
No, not again.
So you had a black and white television then that you went.
He grew up watching Robbie. He didn't want to be no Robbie. He wanted to be
Robbie
a bull
Vaquero,
rider.
yeah. Yeah. So literally that's what
I'm sorry to interrupt. I do that a lot.
Go ahead. Did your dad want you to be a bareback rider?
No, just didn't want me to ride a rough stock probably, but that's just what I wanted to do, and he was supportive of it, and that's what I wound up doing.
This is your second time to the NFR here and riding very well. What we've done, you've covered 4 of your bulls already here this evening, and Donnie made me put on the buck off as well from tonight. But let's take a look at first. This is from round number 2, and this is an 88-point ride. Good ride here, Donnie.
I mean, you know, anybody in the grandstands out there, you know a good bull ride when you see it. Look at the style. Look at the, you know, he's not humped over. I love it. He don't have a helmet on. He's got a cowboy hat, a resistol, you know, round to the right into his hand. You know, this guy going on. This is a outstanding bull ride. That bull had never had a qualified ride on him. He rode him like patting for a dance. I mean, you know, just pretty.
You talk about the ride a little bit there, Tyler.
This is a bull. I didn't know nothing about him. He's supposed to be a couple out there around the left, and he was
And he went to the right.
and I love that. That's a better deal than the left thing.
That was a mistake.
You know, that's into his hand, but that bull bucked all year. Bulls do, it affects livestock coming to the NFR just like it does cowboys. You know, they're a little nervous. It's a strange environment. It's very difficult on the livestock out here. You know, there's a lot of noise. There's never a chance for them to, you know, settle down like they do at the home ranch and that sort of thing going to a regular rodeo. So, but this was just outstanding. We can, now let us move to that next go round.
Yeah, this is round 5, Donnie. This is the 89.5, Tyler. And this
Only
one was on,
89
yeah,
and a
this
half,
is
yeah.
on wish list.
Talk about that.
This bull right here is a Grounding bull, and most of his bulls are real small and fast, and this bull is huge. He probably 2,100 pounds at least, and my rope just barely fit him, and I ride with a big rope, and a lot of power, but felt pretty good until right here at the end. He just got to moving forward a little bit and got heavy.
When you hear me talk about rhythm, you know, if you get your rhythm when that bull leaves the buck and chute, that's what you're doing, because you're not going to outpower any of them, whether they weigh 2,000 or 1,400. You got to get in time and rhythm and look at the free hand, moving it, sitting up straight. That's just like you saddling up your horse and going loping out across the pasture. He's in time with him, doesn't fight it. I could watch this bull rides like this all night long,
Joe. I know,
Joe.
so Dave, from what you say too, Donnie, to watch for, Tyler doesn't override one. You know, you can get bucked off overriding one faster than you can not making the moves with them. And that big old bull is long, he's strong, he's powerful. But you say, watch the free arm. When they go to override him with the free arm, they're done. He never overrides it.
Go ahead, Tom.
Well, when you're doing it right, it's easy, but if you're just a little bit out of time, it's the hardest thing in the world to ride bulls for some reason.
And that happens really quick.
Yeah, real quick.
Well, speaking of that, tonight was and again, you're right, and Donnie, you may want to address this too. You're right in the middle still of this hunt now in the average.
Yeah,
for this deal.
you know, you're like it was like $50,000. You know, that's 2 go rounds and moving up maybe 1 spot in the average. I think you're 3rd in the average. I don't know about tonight. You know, if Boyd's here, he'll know everything. Especially about the average.
Yes.
But
yeah.
you know.
But tonight, Donnie,
but you have more. I mean, it's not just everybody seems to think that it's precluded that JW is going to win his 4th world title, and in my estimation, he should. It's his to win or lose. But you guys, there's 3 more go rounds. You know, that's $56,000, and then the average is, how much is that, Joe? $48,000.
So it's long ways from being over.
Yeah, I mean, so everybody's going to have a shot all the way through, but it depends on riding each and every bull, and there's no letdown in today's NFR and the bull riding.
Yeah, that's it. It's just, I don't know all the stats and the numbers what I got to do. All I know what I need to do is just stay on every single one of them, and if if that's what I do, that's all I can do.
And let's take a look at what happened tonight, Donnie. You talked about it. And
Okay.
This is from round 7 tonight.
And this is what I said. This bull jumps out of the bucket chute, cranks it into your hand like you like them, but your arm's straight, your head's up. Now look at your head. You looked out and you lit right exactly where you were looking. And I said, could have been a little more effort there. You know, so talk about it and tell me what you felt whenever that bull jumped out there and cranked it with you.
Well, it's kind of funny because this is a bull that's from Colorado, and I should know him, and I've never seen him or nothing, and he's humongous, just like that first one we were showing, a Groundy's bull. And it just felt awkward the whole time, just sitting on the chute on him and stuff, and coming out of there got me right to my fingertips on my bull rope, and I knew I didn't have a chance coming out of there.
You know,
I got strung out.
I followed that up when I said you could have used more effort. And you guys hold that right there, and we want to go to that in just a second. But when I said we could have used a little more effort, and then I said, but depending on how it feels and you're trying to ride, you do have 3 more go-rounds. Dan Willis, the 1965 Rookie of the Year, made a little rhyme one time that I heard, and it stuck with me all this time. He said, there's a time to try and a time to fly, and a smart bird knows when.
And that might have been a time right there to let that big one have it.
Yeah, it wasn't going to work out. I knew it wasn't. I had nothing barely to hold on to. I had 2 fingers left in the rope when I got strung out like that. And the bull that big and having to get back from where I was at and the position that he put me in, it wasn't going to work.
Past the point of no return, and that feeling is only known for sure by the guy with his hand with those 2 fingers left in the rope. You know, so, and we can talk a little bit about this rodeo, and when I go on and on about it, it treats everybody differently, and sometimes, and it doesn't. You never know who it's going to be, and this year it's been Cole Eckel.
And it's in every event. Look at Cody Wright in a bronc ride. I mean, it picks somebody. You're right.
Somebody.
In every event, every year, it picks and it usually, a lot of times, it's a leader or a top 4 guy.
When
and
it rains,
just torches them all week.
When it rains, it pours, and Cole Eckel has gotten dumped on a bunch. This bull tonight that he got, a Frontier bull. You know, you can roll that clip now, guys. This bull is the one you want. I'm thinking he's going to be 92 or 3 because he's good to ride. He's cowboy friendly. Watch this. Whenever he nods his head, this has happened to him every go-round. This is go-round set. Boom. There's a little love tap. Say, hello, Cole. Now watch his head now into that solid gate. Boom. Hello, Cole. You know, so the good news is he's okay. The bad news is they told him he got to get on another one. Okay? That's happened to him 6 nights, now 7 nights in a row. You know
That's got to break your concentration. I don't care who you are, how focused. When you get a shot watch his head go back when he hits him. I mean, that's like taking one from the champ right there, and then to top it all off, he throw you on your head again. And
Donnie,
then you get a chance to do it again.
And you're in the locker room, and you know Cole Eckel pretty well. Now, this guy, he won the CBR World Championship at Cheyenne in June. This kid can ride. He won 10,000 with Tough. He's heading for Tough. This guy's a cowboy. It can happen to anybody. So, you know, give them an idea of the locker room and what everybody's feeling.
Well, there's definitely people that are happier than others, but I don't know. It's tough. It just every year, like you said, something happens to somebody, and these are bulls. Cole's been on all these bulls probably before, and they get bucked all year long, and they don't do that to them, and it just happens here for some reason. Whatever
Okay,
it is.
he asked me. He said, "What in the hell can I do?" And I said, "You told me early in the week that you had a pair of new riding boots that you just hadn't had the nerve to crack out." I said, "I think it's time for the new boots." And he said, "I'll have them on tomorrow." And that could be all it is. You know, when I change something up, I never change my riding because it's like Joe and I talk about almost every show. If your fundamentals are proper, if they're good, and you're not going to quit, then you're going to win. And so when I was riding bad, I would think, okay, I need to change something up. So if I'd been riding with my pants tucked in my boots, I put them out. I didn't change anything else, but I'd put my pants over my boots instead of tucking them in, and it just seemed to work. I don't know what it is. We'll see tomorrow.
We'll see tomorrow night. We're glad that you came to see us tonight, Tyler. You're right in the middle
I
of
know
this
you
deal.
didn't really feel like coming out and talking about bull riding tonight after getting thrown off, but
But hold on, we talk about this, and you said it best a while ago. Doesn't matter whether you're winning. Doesn't matter whether you're getting beat. Meaning you missed one that night or you got bucked off that night or whatever. You still have to regroup and come back tomorrow night and do good. So once you leave that arena and you get your 15-minute, I had a 15-minute soul period. You may not have that. I needed it. So after that little 15-minute soul period's over, you got to go on with life and keep moving.
You're the same guy.
In
same
and out.
pair of
That's
pants,
right.
whether you won or whether you didn't win. You're the same guy. And if you got your lip stuck out and I'm going to take my football and go home,
Yep.
then you're not going to be around very long.
Well, and it says a lot of the character of this kid right here. I mean, character's a lot of rodeo. You better have a lot of it because they're going to feed it back to you piece by piece. But him showing up getting bucked off, I don't mean nothing.
Number 2 in the world got a chance for a world championship. Tyler Smith, Colorado Bull Rider. Thank you so much for your time. I mean, watch that video clip right there. Look at that again, Tyler. Look at that. Look how good you are. Yeah, buddy.
You know, I told him
That's
to
what
fix.
you think about. You
Hey,
don't
I
think
told
about
him
that
to do some
crap
more of
tonight.
that.
I told him how to fix the standings because he said he wasn't paying attention to the standings. You know how you fix the standings the last 3 nights? Victory lap. You just win every go around. The hell, the standings take care of themselves.
Ride that horse.
We've got a question that came in from somebody here in the audience. How do they? They'll talk each night. It's an eliminator pin. Whether it's
Saddle
saddle
bronc. It
bronc
was saddle
riding,
bronc horses tonight.
and sometimes they'll say this is the Bulls eliminator pin. Somebody
And
wants you to
what
explain
happens
that,
when you
Donnie.
put the eliminators together like
And
that?
why
bull?
do they do that? Why do they have an eliminator pin?
Because the stock contractors spend a fortune trying to get animals that are really, really tough to ride. Well, okay, so you got the bull J.W. Harris had tonight. He needs to be at Alpo. Well, that bull, yeah, the dog food. He don't even get to be hamburger, in my opinion, because he was crappy. So that bull has been bucked 25 times this year, and nobody has stayed on the 8 seconds. And JW said, "What'd you think about that little darling?" And I said, "Well, you can't call him a piece of until you ride him, because if you call him that before you make and you don't make the whistle, what would that make you? And so." That bull was an eliminator. He was terrible, and he didn't buck him off. He ran out. He just made a left turn and just ran out from under him, which is at this rodeo is almost not fair. But he was there, and that's just the breaks of the game. So you take it, move on to the next go round. Saddle bronc horses, same way. Bucking son of a guns. Most of the saddle broncs that really buck somebody off, you'll notice it's usually within the first 3 jumps. Well, then, guess what? Court Shear had 4 of them tonight
4.
because they were really ranked 3 jumps, and then they were a cloud of dust.
They never been ridden past that 3rd jump.
That's
probably.
exactly right. And some of them just didn't have their day. But that's the reason. But they try when they call it an eliminator pin. They try and put the most difficult to get in time with in the bronc riding, bareback riding, the arm jerkers. They try to put them all together where everybody has the same awful horse.
Yes, exactly. Donnie, before we move on, we've got friends
That make
over
any sense?
We've got friends over there with Sam. Would you introduce those guys over there?
All right. Well, I see Sam Dunn. I see David Sharp. I see Gordon Whitener. These guys have been instrumental in the Extreme Bulls. They've been friends of mine for a long time. The new television show that you need to look, Contact Dish or Direct, make sure they carry
online,
the
Donnie.
Wrangler.
It's all online.
All
the Wrangler
online,
Network.
the
WranglerNetwork.com. Yep.
Wrangler's going to
Big
be
deal.
involved, and it could be a really big
Big deal. We're glad to have them. You know what's making me nervous is Abe Lincoln is sitting in the balcony, and it's a little nerve-wracking. Come up here, would you, Abe, and just Yes, you. Yeah, that. Give him a hand, will you? I'm not sure, but just
I saw that beard and I was thinking maybe he was, a Duck Dynasty descendant or something. Maybe not.
welcome, sir. It's good to have you here this evening. Aren't you a little nervous sitting in the balcony?
Well, I've been told to stay out of the theater, but I thought I'd be safe over there on the side. Now, I decided to come here tonight because, Don, come here. Don, by God, you voted for me in the 1864 election. And I said I'd come tonight and help this man out with his show because he helped me out with my show. And I'd like to invite you over, Donnie, a little later to Penny Lane where you can get some more bonuses more often if you play on my slots. Will you do that for me, Donnie?
We've seen his picture all over town. So, Abe, tell us what this Penny Lane is and where you can do it and what nights of the week.
Well, it's Boyd Gaming, and they have several slots around the city of Las Vegas as well as other cities. And on certain nights of the week, you can play more for more bonuses more often at any Boyd Gaming facility, which includes this facility and also Orleans and several around Las Vegas. So please, everyone, put a penny in a slot and play some Penny Lane.
Give this honest man a hand, will you? Yes, Abe. Good, sir.
He and I shop at the same clothing stores.
Yeah, they make two pair for you out of one of his.
It's good to, very nice. Good to have you here. Yes, give him a
Thank
hand.
you.
Thank you, sir. Good to have you with us.
Watch that back door.
Loved you in the movies this last year. Yeah, very good. This is for you, Joe. This question has come in. And, and it just seemed, go ahead, read it there,
Why
Joe.
are so many of the tie-down ropers fumbling their ties? There's two reasons. And I'm all about fast times, and I'm all about TV, and we work TV every night, Donnie and I, and I know what it takes to make a good show. But number one, they tie these calves a lot, and they break them in, and they train them to where nothing kicks anymore, or there's no real challenge.
They look tired.
When you flank them, there's no real challenge in the legs, so they think that makes it easier to tie one. But if you've ever tried to pick a stick up and place it somewhere when it's just kind of there, it's harder to do than if you get a little resistance. If they didn't tie them quite as much to where when they strung them and went to cross them, they felt a little push. It makes you use your right leg more, and you rotate your hips, and you push the legs in there. Hence, you pay more attention to where your string is, and you've got them in a vise in between your legs and your left arm. You have them in a vise. When you have them in a vise, you have something pushing against resistance. Just a touch. You don't want them kicking and fighting, but just a touch. It makes you go through your steps. And if you skip a step, flanking and tying a calf, it's like ordering a Domino's pizza, and they bring you to the door, and it's got two pieces missing. You didn't get the whole pizza. And if you skip a step tying, you cost yourself money. We've seen Trevor Brazil do it twice, just because he plays still. And he still won 10,000 one night and 12 the other, but 14 and 18 is better. But I think they tie them a little bit too much, and they think they're going to be real easy, so they just fan through it. And then another thing, if you'll watch, the guys that are smart, they slow down to be fast, and the ones that are trying to be fast are going fast and winding up slow. You got to slow down to be fast in the tie-down rope.
I just watched, you were talking whenever you and Cody O were talking a couple of nights ago, getting that rope on them really quick. One swing. I mean, almost it looks to me like before your horse is clearing that box very good. You were talking about getting that rope on them quick, and you were talking about the separation, and I watched it tonight. Everybody that took one more swing, they were closing in on the calf, or the calf was slowing up. I don't know which is which.
And it causes resistance on them every time.
And it takes longer every single time.
The only guy here, and I finally last night caught him in the hallway, and I said, look, you don't rope like Cody Old, Trevor, and whoever else has been winning a lot, is Scott Cormos. But he is built different. He's Phil Line build. He's Donnie build. He's long from the waist. He's not real tall, but he's strong. And I said, Scott, your sin is your time is made up after you rope him. He never messes the string up. Last night we saw it one time. I think he's run 60 here. And he said, what do you mean? I said, quit trying to throw on the gain. Even though you're going to run him farther, when you get your separation, you get your going. Tonight, he runs one to the buck and shoots in 7-7 because he doesn't mess his string up. And the reason is he does one thing at a time. So if they would quit trying to be fast and in a bind, they wouldn't mess their tie up. And on the other part of that is if they wouldn't try to be ahead of their own ability and do what you can do, you're going to win money.
The hero shot.
That's, yeah, when you flank one and you string him and you try to throw it on. And I will say this year, Joe Bob Locke has done the best job of flagging the tie-down roping that's been done here in years. There's been 3 or 4 guys hang their hooey and stand up. And when you're flagging, it's hard not to get caught in the moment. And they're standing up in the national finals, and a hand comes up, and you start, and that guy's all hung up. He hasn't missed one of those. 3 guys have been borderline getting him up, and I can hear him hollering through my headset, get him up, get him up, get him up. And you listen for that. When it's close and you're pulling him up your leg, you're listening for an okay. So in his, just to kind of, because I'm hard on judges, you know that.
Me too.
But they deserve it, you know. But he also deserves a pat on the back, and I'm going to give it to him right there.
Okay. Let's get these 2 gentlemen out here, and let's talk some rodeo tonight because it's getting good. And we've got another question that's going to set Donnie off, I know, and probably you too as well. So let's get these gentlemen out here. First of all, Bob Tallman is here and Boyd Polhamus. They're both here. Welcome these gentlemen. And let's do a little rodeo. They're back there talking already. The B-Boys. Yes, indeed. I like it. T-R-O-U-B-L-E. Welcome, gentlemen. Good to have you here.
When do we nail?
We already got Boyd's microphone. There it
When
goes.
do we nail the chairs down?
Yeah, we're not taking any chances.
I don't blame you.
And Bob and Joe, let's do this. This question came in first, so I held it until you guys got out here. You guys see it better than anybody. Donnie had a little run-in with the judges tonight. Just a minor deal tonight on the bull riding. But this is the question. Why are some of the judges' scores so far off from each other? A 41 on one side, a 32 or a 33 on the other side. Whoever wants to jump in there first.
Well, when you have a big disparity like that, the guy was spurring the heck out of one of them on one side and was missing, was tightened up on the other side. So that's not what I was, angry about. The scores in the bull riding. Frankly, in all 3 events, depending on the livestock, if the judges, are into it, they're humans. If they're into it and everything's electric, scores are like they need to be. But like tonight in the bull riding, these were what they have for eliminators anymore. Different kinds of bulls, different kinds of days. But it was obvious to me that they, weren't giving away enough points. I mean, Tyler Willis, first bull he's covered, bull of my dad's. He didn't buck as good as he's supposed to, but he bucked good. He was not too easy to ride, and he was like 78 points, and that's just ridiculous.
Banana horn bull?
Yeah, that's just ridiculous. I mean, it was an 81, 82-point bull ride, and that's not many points difference, so you don't really, and they don't like me saying anything bad about the judges, but I said, well, don't tell me that you know any more about bull riding than I do.
Well,
period.
They don't like announcers talking about judging either. They don't.
And it's their opinion, and they got the places right. That's the big deal.
Whoever's supposed to win first is supposed to win first, and whoever's supposed to win second is supposed to win second. And so as long as you get the money divided up right, it's fine. The only problem I have with it is I see as many as they do, okay? And they require me to go to a seminar when I first get my card to make sure that I explain it correctly to the fans. So I don't have to go to one every year, which was once suggested. So, but at any rate, I see as many as they do, and I have an opinion too, okay? And if I like the ride and you didn't, hey, they're going to pay on your opinion, not mine, okay? So don't get mad at me if I think. Now, if I say he clearly slapped the bull and you didn't call it, you really screwed up, Judge. What an idiot.
That's different.
Yeah, that's different. That's different. I think you nailed it earlier. To answer the question on the text board, Donnie nailed it earlier. I do have a little problem in the bull riding, though, and I'll tell you about it when judges are different. But most of the times in the bucking horse riding events, if a horse is circling to the left and you're just hoeing it out of him with your right leg, chances are if you're in a bind, you might not be doing the same thing on the left side. So the chances are the judge on the left side. Now, in Calgary, they got a different deal, and I kind of like it. 2 judges judge the ride, and 2 judges judge the stock, okay? They don't judge left and right. They judge the ride and the horse. And 2 judges are just focused on the animal and what is his degree of difficulty, and the other 2 guys are just focused on the ride and how will he ride, spur, whatever. And I'm open to that as a suggestion. But when we're doing the left and right thing, when a horse circles to the left, we saw it tonight. I don't remember whose ride it was, but there's a guy that is spurring the guts out of a bareback horse on the right-hand side. The horse is circling to the left, and his left leg is
That's
doing
because
little.
he was left-handed.
Right.
And circling into their hand, it's tough.
It's tough, and so you will see a 33 and a 43. For me in the bull riding, though, to me, the most of the score for the rider is going to come from the degree of difficulty from the bull, okay? You got a 19-point bull, and unless he's spinning to the left and you're spurring the guts out of him with your right leg, it's tough for you to be 22, okay? But if you got a 22-point bull and you just hang on, and so I've been to places where had a flat spinning bull and the cowboy didn't spur him, okay? And one judge saw it as a 41 and the other judge saw it as a 62 or 32. So I'm sitting there going, okay, one judge thought that was a 64-point ride and the other judge thought it was an 82-point ride. That's too broad a disparity.
Well, but and that really hasn't happened.
No.
What I'm talking about here is they've just been a little bit low because could be a 19. If they mark the bull 19 at another rodeo where there's not 100 of supposedly the best bulls, they mark that same bull, that same 19 trip, 22, and he's either a 22 bull or he ain't. And, so therein is the question. But then again, it gets back to and why I'm not in trouble, because judging is the guy's opinion that are getting paid to do that performance, and it's which girl's the prettiest. It just depends on who's looking.
Okay, what I want to do now, I'd like to talk about Cody Ohl, but in the context, Joe, to you started out what he's doing, and then to bring it to you, Boyd, and say that's one of the best events watching right now. To me, it's unbelievable.
Between him and Hanchey,
yes.
Oh God.
So, but what he has done, Joe, Cody Ohl was here last night, and it's remarkable to me to watch.
We talked about it, Dan, about rebounding. Cody Ohl can rebound right now. I mean, last night he had a good calf. If you weren't here last night, he just kind of skipped it on. He left there behind, kind of had his tip up behind it. He just threw it out there thinking, and it hit and flopped on. Well, and it did. He didn't get a good go, and he was 8-9 or 8-8, didn't win anything. So he was just totally shell-shocked that he did that to himself. Came on our show, talked about it, was good with it, everything. Tonight has a calf that runs the same pattern.
But it's also a calf that Ryan Jarrett was 6'9" and split around
but
with.
it's a calf that myself. Now you can add Tough Cooper to the list, and you can add Fred Whitfield from one year. We've all missed calves going to the left here. It's a hard angle to get over there. You're throwing fast. It cost me a gold buckle one year in the 9th round. It could cost Cody Ohl a chance tonight, or it could cost Tough Cooper, depending on who didn't think. He came to us. We talked about it. Calf goes left. Got a rebound. He said, B, I got to win the round tonight. I'm the first roper. If I tie this calf under 7 flat, I can put the pressure and make somebody mess up. Hence, what did he do?
Tough miss.
He got one. Now, he couldn't get them all tonight, but he's chipping away. He got one guy's.
But, dude, he dropped. Tough was ahead of him in the average, and now Tough is 2 spots, and each spot in the average is $8,000, okay? So he just won another round, okay? Again, there's 3 nights left to go. But what's most interesting to me is the fact that there's this whole season, man. When you think about the miles these guys travel, the number of times they nod their head in slack over the 4th of July week and get in and go someplace else. And now the whole season for the top 15 tie-down ropers in the world is going to come down to 3 head.
It's quick draw.
It's
going to be one Saturday night. It's going to be Saturday night, won't it?
Yeah. My dad told me years ago I was going to turn out at I wasn't going to turn out at a short go to go do a school that had got fouled up. And he said, do you really think that one calf at one rodeo is going to matter a hill a damn when you back in there for your 10th one at Vegas? He said, that's where you win or lose it. And these guys are proving it. And what I meant by he couldn't get both of them, he didn't get Hanchy to bobble tonight, but he got Tough to bobble. Frazier Falls. He didn't get both of them, but he got one.
But
it's chipping away at him is what he's
had
doing.
a calf that Timber was long on, and then Trevor came
seven
back
flat.
7 flat
So
on.
he had
right.
the same good a
right.
calf.
Right.
I mean, they all three had the calves to either step up or let your dress get blowed up. And we got one view, and we got 2 of them hanging in there.
Marilyn Monroe moment. A couple of windows are closing now, and if just people ride solid, if Casey Field if he covers 3 more head and just makes a decent showing, beat Casey Field, doesn't have to win the round, doesn't have to place even, but if he just maintains with Bobby Moat going out the night before, he has developed such a lead that it's going to be tough for the rest of anybody else in the rest of the field to catch him if he stays consistent.
He called it tonight, though, and you did too, announcing it. That horse was no better than half the horses in that field tonight. But when you went to holler about him picking him up, we watched on the deal, Donnie's right. That horse just come across there wanting to be long and nasty, and that Casey Field would not have it. He would not have it.
Casey Field had him in him, and he drug, and you could see that horse bow his neck and pick him up.
He just
and the timing
gathered him,
started,
didn't he?
And that fired you up. I mean, and there.
But
you know,
as a
That's why
stock
he's a world
contractor and a
champion.
cowboy, guys, let me tell you, as a stock contractor and a cowboy, he's a cowboy and a stock contractor. So he knows what that much more spur in a horse will do to a bucking horse.
You
can
really
have an
want one to buck.
average, right? You can have a 17 to 18 point horse if you do this. Okay, turn your toes in a little bit and don't really stick them. But if you got a decent horse and you give him 1.5 inches of shank and say, "Come buck my ass off," you're going to get the best out of that horse, and that's what Casey Field does.
And he's not afraid to let one make one buck. And not to say anybody else, but we're talking about circumstances on how you win, because winning is not in your pants; it's between your ears.
Which is why the other person. Okay, can you two guys have beat the road. Me and Bobby go to 1 rodeo a week. You guys went to 5. Okay, whether you had a plane or were dragging horses, I can't imagine. I go to Nampa, Idaho, and I see guys that I know just got back from Salinas, California. They got their first one in Cheyenne. They got to get to Ogden and Salt Lake, and they come back, and I'm just staying in Nampa. Okay. Sherry Servey has done this for how long? What kind of fire must burn in her belly to beat that road? Okay, and that's the other one that's closing the windows. She makes 3 solid runs. Even she's placed in every round. She could join one of only 5. Kirsty Peterson placed in every round twice. Okay, there's only 5 women that have done it in the history of the WPRA. Placed in every round of the National Finals Rodeo. Sherry could add that to her list of accomplishments. Okay, but even if she doesn't. Even if she knocks a barrel, the worst she does is move to 4th in the average. Yeah, that takes her from 48,000 to 23, but that ain't enough to open the door for number 2 to get anywhere close. So those are windows closing right now. J-Dub's closing windows. Shane Proctor made it stay open a little longer tonight, But the other events, the time events, and this is one of the things I love the most about the time events. We're not going to find out who our world champion bulldogger is until Saturday night. We're not going to find out who our world champion calf roper is until Saturday night. We're not going to find out who our world champion team ropers are until Saturday night.
The bull riders are in the locker room. They're for sure that I am extremely old, because we were standing back there talking. I was talking to some of them.
Right.
Well, the first time I could say a bull rider's smart.
Wait till you hear this. I'm sitting there. I'm watching Sherry Servey run barrels, and I'm going, man, I could watch her hands on those reins all day long. I mean, she knows how. And they're going, you're going to look at her hands?
Yeah, I am.
And I'm going, we're talking barrel racing here, guys.
I stand right behind the first barrel. Do you know each night she gets that close to touching that first barrel? Not knocking it, but touching it. Each night she gets that close.
And how many horses has she been here on, and we've seen them do that?
Hawk.
It's just incredible.
Hawk, now Stingray. What was the gray horse? Tin Man. What's the gray horse? The gray horse. What did she call it?
Run off coming here the year at the mountains.
What about that pal?
Hawk. No, I said Hawk.
Gennaro.
Troubles. Thank you very much.
About the best stud going dinero. Yeah.
Boyd, you mentioned. Let's take a look at Sherry at work here because it's amazing her
I
technique.
tell you what else she
is the
did.
same.
She taught Taylor Jacobs something because Taylor Jacobs and I had an autograph deal after Taylor hits two barrels, one each night. And yeah, and she told me, she said, "Do you know what I learned here?" And I said, "What?" Sherry Survey should have hit a barrel both night, but she doesn't care what it looks like. She even grabbed an off rein to keep her off the barrel. And I said, "Baby, this isn't the horse
the
show."
Best dad of
Lane
all.
Jacob is an absolute amazing man. They live 13 miles from me, but I signed at the Cal Ranch with Taylor that day too. I said, "Little girl," I said, "if you looked at the clock -5, you've won one of those rounds, and you place second in the other if you don't knock a barrel. And this ain't a demolition derby. Keep them standing. See what the clock says with them all standing." And she's won 4 rounds.
Okay, Joe, up here, you have the most horsemanship skills, and you've won
I beg to differ.
under pressure. And how hard is it for the girls to make a run at the National Finals Rodeo, thinking, I just got to keep them all up? Tell me how hard that would be for.
It'd be next to impossible. And if you don't believe that, get on a damn barrel horse. And here's the deal. What Boyd said, that close, you better be that close to every barrel if you want to win something. Day in and day out, Donnie, you know this by putting on 1,000,000 rodeos. That's the hardest event to win money in consistently, where you don't have to get off your horse, you don't have to leave your horse, you don't have to do anything physical other than ride, because ground changes, temperature changes, all this other stuff. If somebody puts a barrel on this side of the stake, other side of the stake. At the national finals, you have to be thinking in 13 seconds. And that's an impossible feat. I wouldn't run barrels 10 nights here in a row if you guaranteed me third place every night, because one night I would mess up.
That's
and I would
okay.
look stupid.
Gino is better anyway. So.
Right. I was going to say, you married one, and let me just ask you this. When you got a good barrel horse, how many supplements do you need to? Man, I've been around them barrel races. You get a scoop of this, gets a scoop of that, gets a scoop. Oh, only a half a scoop of that.
Boyd, I got a whole
of this
barn.
on there.
I got
what
a little
the hell
barn.
are you giving this thing?
My horses eat out of this one barn, and Luis feeds all my stuff, and I got a whole nother guy that takes care of the dogs in the house. That's how they're trusted, and he feeds my wife's horse out of this other barn. We don't even crisscross the hay, man.
I want to ask this before we're out of time here, because Bob is just sitting there kind of taking this all in. Bob,
I'm learning something.
What I want to tell you in front of all these people is we miss you announcing this.
We miss him in the
you so
NFR.
much doing this.
Bob Tallman,
That is the
But-
biggest joke I've ever seen, that Bob Tallman is not working the NFR with Boyd Paul Amos. I said it, print it, put
did
it
it
out there. I
himself,
don't
though.
care.
He took himself out
He
of
did
it.
it
Yes.
himself, though.
Okay,
Joe.
I
hey,
don't
but
care.
I signed at
I
Boyd
don't
Gaming
care.
the other day. I signed at Boyd Gaming at Cowboy Christmas, and this was before Bobby showed up to sign. And the guy comes up to me, he goes, "Boyd, every day people stop by and go, 'Is Bob okay? Why isn't Bob announcing the National Finals Rodeo?' So you know what? Hey, Bob, why did you decide you didn't want to announce the National Finals Rodeo?"
Here we go again.
And, well, Bob, what I want you to add to that is now when it's it's round 7 and all this stuff is going on. Yes.
Tonight was the very first night that I had a tinge of going over the edge. And I'll
Just
tell
a
you
tinge.
why. It started in the grand entry. Okay? I am an idiot fanatic about timing, lighting, choreography, and making it bigger than it really is. You can't get bigger than the Boyd Gaming opening. It has been the supreme opening for a decade. And anytime you use the armed services, anytime that you can have all of this work, it's phenomenal. Okay, it's over. Now we got to buck one. That black horse, as he's going quackity whack, and I could see him lift him. I watched him. Boyd's going, By the time he got to about the 6th jump, Boyd's going, "Hi-ya! Hi-ya!" He's spurring him as hard as Casey was, and I'm wanting to holler, drill that son of a buck.
Hey, it's 11 o'clock at the casino in Las Vegas. Let him hear it, Bobby.
I never in my life. He said it, y'all said it, we watched it, you said it again. This would have been the night to really piss somebody off in management, because I would have hollered, spur that son of a buck harder. That horse likes steel. And it's hard in a public audience or on television to say the phrases that need to be said. That horse likes steel. Some people like to take a whipping, whatever it takes. I ain't going there. I ain't going there. But I'll tell you what, I'm slapping myself. I'm in the Boyd gaming.
You said 11 o'clock, Boyd. You started this shit. I'm telling you.
It's a bewitching hour. I'm up in suite number 6. I got the greatest job in the world. They got these little soft cushy chairs. They got food everywhere, pretty girls, and great big guys. Pouring whiskey for everybody. I just got to stand there and hug ladies and kiss babies. It's awesome.
But
I wanted to go spur that black horse. But
are you going to put your name back in the hat next year?
yes, are you?
Yes.
Anybody want him to put his name back in the hat?
This is why I want to. Yeah.
No, wait. I would still want the answer to my question. Why did you take your hat? You're healthy as hell. You're not even walking with a cane. You got plenty of energy. Why did you take your hat and say, you know what? I don't want to be considered as one of the announcers for the national finals.
I want to be politically correct. I want to be definitely damned honest.
And this has nothing to do with Randy or Wayne.
No.
This is not dissing them at all.
No,
this is just missing you.
Yeah, but the thing
now
is,
go ahead.
I got to deal with him, okay? It's an inner thing. Mind, body, soul, voice. Say it, start a sentence, finish a sentence.
Answer the question.
And I don't care what event it is. It's not because we've worked together all these years. It's an inner thing. I know where he's coming from. I know where he's going. I work with...
Answer the question.
But why did you not
I'm
want
gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I said when he calls me. He calls me. He goes, I think I'm gonna call Michael in Berlin. I said, start with Sean. I said, but why, Bobby? Why? He goes, Boydie, I just don't want to go through the grind. Okay, now let me tell you something. You guys think you know what it's like to be an announcer here? It is a freaking grind. Okay, but... And then he said these words to me. He goes, even as good as we have it with Boyd Gaming, they pay for our rooms, they feed us. He goes, we're pampered, but we're still going to spend $2,500 for being out here for 16 days. So net out of the deal, we're going to leave here with less than $10,000. I don't need the $10,000 for the grind.
Let me take over at that point and bless you for setting me up for that. Here's the deal. Rodeo announcers, timers, secretaries, pickup men, bullfighters, barrel man, and some other people. About 8-9 years ago, they started taking little chunks away from us. That little expense deal, this little stipend over here, this went away, something else went away. If it wasn't for Jackie Ferrando, Jennifer, Big Chris, and this hotel, and the people we work for at Boyd Gaming, we wouldn't be here.
It would have cost cost you to be here.
Now,
but, that's why the Bull Riders give them 3 guys $15,000 in the locker room in cash tonight.
I thought about that when you were telling
I guarantee you one thing. When I was roping, and I know 6 of them right now, if it would make a difference between Bob Tallman and Boyd Polhamus calling it when I'm back in there to win a gold buckle, they would cut up a $10,000 check amongst them, one of them or 2 of them, because you don't realize, and Donnie, you do. You've been there as a contestant. You don't, and I'm going to cover it up. For some reason, I'm going to be nice. And I'm going to say, this isn't anything against Randy, and it's not against anybody else. It's not. But when you back in there, and you have got your guts laying on the line, and you've got to be so fast, so many points, or whatever, to win a world championship, there's no other feeling than having these 2 guys with their interacting self, like he said, behind you to do it. So
but
there's
Joe,
nothing about the money. The money needs to be brought up. I ain't through. Y'all don't get paid shit. Y'all don't get paid nothing for what y'all do. Y'all need more money.
You're being short-sighted to a little certain extent here. You're speaking specifically about this particular venue. And both Bob and I have at least 4 or 5 that pay more than this one does. Okay. All right.
10.
But Every rodeo I go to all year where I have a chance to sell Cody-O or
Sell us.
but wait, you showed up, paid your own freaking way, plopped $500 down to rope, and don't know if you're leaving with a dime. When him and I show up, we signed a little sheet of paper that said, when you're done announcing our rodeo, son, we're going to pay you X amount of dollars. Okay, but you know what? So we make our living off of you. If you don't show up, so I don't think the calf ropers or
Should
the
have
bull
to do it.
riders
I'm agreeing.
should have to do it.
But
That's my point.
let me throw it back out there then. Y'all don't get paid enough.
Wait a minute.
Period.
All right.
I think he's going to answer it.
All right.
No, he's not.
Yes,
You
I am.
know he's not.
Yes, I am.
This is damn near past my bedtime. Come on, Bob.
I've had some people say, are you trying to make a statement? No. I am who I am, doing what I'm doing, and dang happy about it. This man and I sat down when I made first call, and we talked about it earlier. Timing is really important when you make a major decision in your life, and it affects other people's lives. Okay? The money sucks. And it is the worst contract that we have. Why they've done it the way they've done it, but here's the deal. We have been told, not once, but 2 or 3 times, by 2 or 3 in management on both sides of the fence, if we give you guys a raise to what you think you're worth or what you really want, then we got to give everybody else a raise. Here was my answer. What the hell is wrong with giving them guys $6 million and a stock contractor $5,700 to bring a bucking horse, and we're working for 22 cents on the dollar? I'm not mad. I'm not disappointed. I'm flat-ass disgusted. God bless Boyd Gaming, Boot Barn, Resistol, Wrangler, Prefert, and a new outfit. But the thing is, folks, when you start making decisions about money and you start letting money either rule you or lead you, God is going to kick your butt. And I got a good deal going with him right now. So the heck with the money. I'm going to stay with my decision. And yeah, I'll put my hat back in the box.
Good.
But there's some other things that got to change to go with it.
If you keep talking that loud, it might not do you any good.
Well, the only thing that I want to defend Bobby on that, because I do want to defend Bobby on that, because when he said to me, the money was the last thing he brought up. Okay, he said it's just the grind. Okay, and again, he's physically capable of taking it, but what? 26 NFRs versus 25, some other Hall of Fame versus the 4 or 5 he's already in, a 9th Announcer of the Year award. Well, it's not for, you don't do the job for the notoriety, especially if you're Bob Tallman. He's got plenty of it, okay? And it is a very taxing job here. And look, but one of the results of that is this rodeo runs faster, smoother, with more moving parts than any other rodeo you're going to watch all year long. You could ask a flag girl to enter at a Gladewater or a Corpus or somewhere like that, or a Nampa, Idaho, and she may not enter at the exact same time that she will here at the minute, the moment she's supposed to. And the reason they do is because I couldn't get here till 11:10. And we're rehearsing Shania Twain riding around the arena to do her welcome. We're rehearsing the chuck wagon that's going to go around the arena and blow pyro off the back of it for the grand entry. Last night, Jackie Ferrando, she was there helping to choreograph the Nellis Air Force Base and the Thunderbirds program. So it just, in order to have a rodeo that is this good, it takes more effort. If you're going to be Joe Beaver, you're going to rope more calves in time, and you're going to go to the practice pen more often than your competitors, and therefore you're going to be a better roper and you're going to be a better bull rider. I don't mind the time, but I recognize the demands of it. Okay? And if I'm 66 and I'm Bob Tallman and I've got 25 NFR buckles and I've got 9 Announcers of the Year awards, do I really need to do this for 10,000?
Okay, let me say this, but this is my point on it, Bob. And again, I'm speaking from the fan standpoint. Someday when you're done, you're done. We want to be with you and have you be a part of this.
Oh, yeah, I ain't
as
done.
long. Okay, and that's what's important.
I'm
to
not
us.
done, but you got to understand something. And I'm going to stand up for the man I work for and a group I work for. I'm going to stand up for Sean Davis. And I guarantee you what, folks, if you don't know him, I've known the man for about 30, how long we've known him? 40 years.
Over 40 years.
Yeah. Okay, Donnie and I, dang near, yeah, I know. But I'm going to tell you something. If he's got about 360 people that he depends on. Some real little and some not so often, some a little bit bigger and some really big. He and I have been nose to nose, and I mean right there. I wouldn't want to try to whip him because I used to help him put on boxing
I was at
deals.
Mesquite when he broke his
But
back.
that,
Yeah.
a clenched fist is an unchrist-like gesture unless you're in a boxing contest. Now, here's the deal. I support the man. I support him tonight. I've supported him for 30 years. I didn't have him with me when I was in Oklahoma City. A lot of people don't remember the days, the Great American Cowboy Radio Show, the television we did with Heston and John Blair. I worked the first NFR in 1972 for $15 a perf. The next year, that was for Buster Ivory, and hanging flanks over the back of him and Pete in
We
a
were
suit.
having fun, too.
And, oh, God, we had fun. Marty would whine. But the thing is, you have got to take a hold of your passion, your position, your character, and it's not about making a statement. There's so many things, in fact, and I am making a statement for a group of people, making it for him, for Brooks, for Randy, for all the other rodeo announcers that are going to get here someday. And you know what? There's not going to be but another 5 or 6 in the next 15 years, maybe 2. Because here's the deal. He used to work Denver, or he works Denver. I worked it. When Fort Worth overlapped it, I went to Fort Worth because I knew I was going to live in Texas. He works Denver, I work Fort Worth. Then we go to Houston. Fort Worth and Houston is 56, same as Denver, 56 performances in a row. We will do the same homework at Fort Worth and at Houston, so we do it together at Houston, as we do at the NFR. I love the homework. I still do my numbers, and I love doing it because I want to be informed every night. The thing with it here is this industry is so far out of whack. It's out of balance. When you bring a bucking horse here that you'll buck at Fort Worth for $150 for your brother or $200, and you get $6,000 to bring him here, what's the deal? I'm going to see that horse someplace else. We might see him 2 months later at Houston, and they get limited deals. Eliminator pins, the world champion bucking horses, whatever. We are in such an out of whack point of our lives, financially, figuratively, socially, and politically right now. I thought it was the thing to do, and I flew to Las Vegas to meet with that lady in her new job in her new office, and I said, Jackie, will it make any difference if I don't go to the Wrangler NFR? She said, why? I told her. We visited a good hour. Nope, because you know what? This week, I have spent an average of 8 hours a day taking care of Boyd Gaming. You know what? They pay me every day. Stan Redding is the smallest sponsor on my wrist. Okay, small print, it's there. There are 6 million people a week that hear me talk about Boot Barn, America's largest Western and work store. We're in 154 stores in 200 markets. Think about what I get to do because I got to be Bob Tallman at the NFR and all these major places. I'm the most blessed man in the world. I'm not making a statement. Tell you what I'm doing, I'm sitting back. Tonight it bothered the hell out of me. Tomorrow I'll be fine. But I have another job here. I work for Sean. My job here requires me to keep this phone on. Every time it rings, 24/7. That's how it works.
Okay. I'm in all of that. I'm just saying from us where we're sitting out here.
How about a round
we
of
love
applause
you and
for
we miss you.
All
these
our
guys
2
here are the
NFR
best.
announcers that are here, and
Yeah.
you know, and again, I want to reiterate, you know, that all of this questions, you know, has nothing to do with Randy Corley and
Wayne
Wayne
Brooks, no.
because they're doing a great job. They're doing their job, but you guys do it too, and
You know, look,
I'm just like Joe. Change is hard to swallow sometimes, and you know, if you're still able, we don't like it. You sitting on your butt over here with Jennifer.
The greatest compliment of it.
Jennifer.
The greatest compliment I've ever been paid is they called us Madden Summerall. Okay, greatest compliment I've ever been paid. Okay, but there was a time where John Madden and Pat Summerall no longer worked together. Okay, networks offered this guy
It
one.
sucked.
Right, and it sucked, but we got used to listening to Madden with Al Michaels for a little while or what the case may be. the bottom line is you'll never erase the magic of Madden and Summerall. Okay, whether they're together or not, you'll never erase that magic. We are brothers. I mean, and one thing about it, when you're brothers, you can cuss each other and you can love each other. You can be mad and what have you. And we've had all of those things happen throughout our 25 years together. But I would just say this with all due respect to Randy and Wayne, who are both very talented humans. Both have their way of explaining their sport to our fan base.
And nobody's in the dark.
Right. But for me, I really enjoy the way me and Bobby do it. Okay? Not that I don't enjoy the way me and Wayne and Randy do it, but I'm most accustomed to that.
Sure.
And the only other thing, and we've had debates, Sean's a perfectionist. Okay? Sean's a perfectionist. And if he does not like the way an opening is feeling or looking, you're going to stay there till midnight and practice it again until he feels comfortable that the fans are going to enjoy it and it's going to go off without a hitch. And then with all of that, stayed there for Bonnie Bishop the night the sound went down, and she ended up singing the song acoustically with no backup music behind her. Well, how do you know that you're going to get a power outage? So you can stay there at 1 o'clock in the morning, a breaker can break, and the next thing you know, you got a woman on the stage with an acoustic guitar that's not plugged in anymore. But anyway.
Listen, it all works, and we're glad to be a part of it. And these guys are all the best at what they do. Please give them a hand, and we appreciate you being here. We're going to give away some prizes. We've got, we have so many people that help us here. The Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation is one of our, we are so glad to have the folks here from the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation and all the other sponsors. Let's give away some prizes now while they're getting them out here. Let me tell you quickly, our rules are pretty simple. 1 prize per person. You have to be present to win. We're going to go through them quickly, so if we call something and you don't come up, we'll draw another name. So we're going to start off with the Rodeo Historical Society has been awfully good to us. They give away a gift bag each and every night. And Justin does, and Wrangler does, and everybody participates. But let's start with this one right here.
I got you. Go in, Donnie.
Donnie.
I got you.
Oh, man,
You just grabbed a gay man by the belt.
Hell, I've grabbed worse and worse places, too.
Let's put those $600 glasses
I'm okay
to
with
work,
that most of the time.
There we go.
Okay, our
Gary
first
Hull.
winner, Gary Hull, Lebanon, Oregon. You
Gary,
here, Gary?
are you here?
Now, you don't get very long to
Yep.
respond.
He's
Are you
coming
here?
right over here.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
coming
okay.
right over here.
Got a winner. I'm hot.
Gary, I'm going to set this right now. We're going to the Boot Barn. We have some gift cards from the Boot Barn. Thank you, Gary. Thank you.
Boot Barn, right here. Who we got, Boyd? Boot Barn.
Linda, congratulations.
Yeah, come on with the rest of it.
That's what I'm trying to do. She's from New York somewhere. If you're from New York, Linda from New York.
No Boot Barn for her?
Yep, it's Linda from New York.
Yeah, see?
Why do you think he handed it to me? Linda
No,
from New
no,
York.
Linda.
I've got one. This is Melissa Thompson. Melissa Thompson, are you here this evening?
It's a lot
Melissa, this
easier to
is
say. Yep,
right there
she
she is.
comes.
There she is.
This is a gift card from the Boot Barn. We've got
We got
another
another
gift
one,
card.
don't we?
She's coming right back there.
I got one drawn here.
Okay.
Don't send her
I got
off.
another
We-
one.
You
Yeah.
got the Boot Barn.
I got
okay.
another one
How
right here.
about
Draw it.
Jason Thurlow, Sulphur Springs, Arkansas?
Yep, come on down. We
Got
could have
a
sent it back
Boot
with her.
Barn.
Woo pig suey. I got a Boot Barn in my hand.
Wrangler.
Yeah, we've got
Oh,
one
got two
more Boot
Wranglers,
Barn.
all right?
Oh, that's a Wrangler. I apologize.
Oh, it's a Wrangler. We've got 3 of these, Donnie. Let's do the first one here. This is for somebody Pepper from Lewiston,
Lucille.
Idaho. Lucille Pepper from Lewiston. Are you here?
She's taking over Bill's spot this year. She wins every night. One more Wrangler. Who
Is
we
she
got,
out
Donnie?
there?
We
Yes,
got
right over here, right over
Danny
here.
Dustin Whitsitt, Pasco, Washington. Man, he printed in big letters. This
I
my
like that
kinda
guy.
Yeah,
He
we
can
can
win
see
again.
that.
He can win again. We can read it. There he comes
Here he
over
comes right here.
All right, I got him. One more. Draw us another one, Dan.
Dano's got one.
Got this is James
There you go.
from Brady, Texas. James Freena.
In the
McCullough
back.
County.
In the back. Come on.
James Freya,
Yep.
Yep,
He's
He's coming down.
Brady,
Perfect.
Texas. I know where that is.
We've got the Justin Boots. This is the Bent Rail Collection. Donnie, pull one out of there, or hand a couple of those to Boyd too, and to Joe, and we'll just read them as we.
Lucille, you can't win again.
Okay.
Damn it.
It's not her fault. You should pick better.
Who you got, boy?
Who is that, Boyd?
It's Sean Olson from Wisconsin.
Coming right back here.
Wisconsin, go Pack, go. We got the Cowboys Monday night. Aaron might play.
That's all we need.
Donnie, get us another one. Another Justin right here.
All right, how about David Eppright? And he's from
Gonzales, Texas.
He's from Lost, Texas.
That's Cullen's dad. Where's he at out there? There we
Right
are,
here?
yeah. Come on, Cullen, come get it.
Got a Wrangler certificate, or just that was Justin Boots? Okay.
Justin Boots.
Got the range coming up.
This is for the range 702. You can go out to the shooting range.
Get that 50 caliber,
machine gun
yeah,
and
that
shoot
Desert
that.
Eagle. Okay, Frank Craig, Hemet, California.
Frank,
right
here,
there.
sir.
You bet.
Hey, buddy.
Get a good hold if you get that big
Katie
gun.
Kaufman shot that thing the other day. Hold on to what's left of your hair.
We've got a Resistol gift certificate here. Who we have?
Follically challenged.
No. I don't think so.
All right, how about Jeff?
Is that
Tower?
Thayer or
He
Jeff
never got
Thayer?
out of
Nelson,
third grade.
Nelson,
North
Nebraska.
Carolina.
Is that North Carolina or
Nebraska.
Right here
That's
he is.
Nebraska.
Right here he is. Perfect. This is
All
for
right.
Resistol.
Go talk to that other guy back there. He can teach you how to print big.
Donnie,
You
we've
give it
got
to him?
some beautiful Montana Silversmith turquoise earrings right here.
And I don't have to give them to a guy. Ella Benally, Winter Rock, Arizona. Ella, are you here?
Is she here?
Here she comes right back there.
Perfect. Perfect.
All right.
How about that Gold Coast vest that Boyd's got? That's next.
That should go to Maria.
Maria, congratulations.
Put them 600 on there. 8X, what do you got?
Maria G. Escobedo.
Escobedo, underlay.
All right, now you're from area code 909.
In the back.
So
she
here
was
she
already,
comes.
Hey,
She's
she was
coming.
already coming on
She's
Maria.
coming.
She was cheating anyway.
Next thing we have is this
I gotta ask her
Boyd
if I said it right. Is
Boyd Gaming duffel bag.
that
These
close
are-
enough? Okay, thank you.
These are fabulous. Pick one out there, guys,
yeah.
for this.
All right.
And then we have the
That's
guitar.
the best piece of luggage.
Her name was Brenda anyway. It didn't matter.
It looked like Marie.
Okay, Steve Connelson,
Where's he from, Donnie?
Bevier, Missouri.
Are you here?
He's trying to get up and get to you right now.
Boy, you got to work on your penmanship.
He's coming right over here.
All right, here's the guitar, last one.
Yep.
All right, here we go.
I'm from that, probably the same, Big Chief tablet, and
Oh, quit.
use the whole line.
All right, for the guitar, last
Signed
of
by
the night,
George Strait.
Mark Spurgeon. Oh, ho, ho.
Oh,
about
yeah.
that,
Over
huh?
here.
Good draw, wasn't it?
Sorry,
Did I
Mark,
do good?
Mark, you just get the box until you get on stage and dance naked. We're in Vegas. How bad you want the guitar? You been playing since you were 16? Well, come up here.
Oh, we got a guitar player.
Come on, get up here then.
Make him play it.
All right.
It's in bad tune there.
Now, you
It's-
know that come out of the box, you're going to have to tune it right
It's
quick.
not tuned, but you go ahead. Just play us Mary Had a Little Lamb or something.
Make Donnie sing.
What? No,
What-
no.
It's not tuned.
Dan, did
He'll-
we ever get that 8-track?
The Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah.
Take it home and tune it,
Gotta get-
cowboy. Take it home and tune it.
We thank you for coming.
Congratulations.
We hope you will go upstairs to the Buck and Ball that is getting underway right now up there and spend the rest of your evening with us. We hope you had a good time. Thanks for coming out to National
y'all very
Finals
much.
tonight. Good night, everybody.
Presentation of National Finals tonight at the Go, where all the Cowboys go. We look forward to seeing you again tomorrow, same time, same place. This has been a presentation of Board Game, riding for the brave. Fun isn't over yet. We invite you to head up to the yearly legendary Buck and Ball. Live music and dancing with Las Vegas favorites, Scotty Alexander and Temperance near you. Plus this weekend, Fred Elvis and Hartford. Their great special and best of all, no coverage. Sunday is the party of the Gal Come Home at the Bucket